We are now looking at the Juliet monologue from Romeo and Juliet. You are going to want to have that monologue open in a separate tab and scroll along there so that it's making sense as you go through. Don't just watch this video. You're not going to see anything on this video, but if you're looking at the monologue, then this will just narrate as you go. At the top, you first see this link, which obviously you've already found. The next link will take you to a professional actor performing this so that you have someone who really understands the language and uses the language guiding you through it. Given circumstances tells you all of the background of what's been happening, and in this speech tells you what's happening at the moment that this speech is happening. So, we are going to read through the entire thing. Then we're going to go back and break it down sentence by sentence. That's how you're supposed to do it in your translation exercise. So that's how we're going to go through it here. Not stopping until we get to a period, an exclamation point, or a question mark. But we're going to read the whole thing first, then break it down, then read the whole thing again once that you better understand it. So keep in mind, you have a number of lines that you have to perform for me depending on your grade. But if you have like 15 lines, you may want to do the first 15, the last 15, whatever the case may be. So we're going to do the whole thing so that you have a guide no matter which part you're doing in your translation exercise. All right. Here's the monologue. Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak to-night. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet, if thou swearest, thou mayest prove false. At lovers' perjuries they say Jove laughs. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or, if thou thinkest I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay, so thou wilt too, but else, so thou wilt woo, but else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayest think my behaviour light, but trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardest ere I was ware my true love passion. Therefore, pardon me, and not impute this yielding light love the which the dark night hath so discovered. Okay, sorry, that was a little bumpy, but we're going to work through it now. Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for that which thou hast heardest me speak to-night. All right, so what this is saying is, you know it's dark outside, the mask of night is on my face, and otherwise you would see that I'm blushing because I'm so embarrassed that you heard me say all those things about wherefore art thou Romeo. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment. She's saying, I know that you shouldn't have this much information yet. And if we were doing this correctly and dwell on form, I should be playing it shy. I should be playing it down. And I should be denying that I ever said that. But no, I'm not going to do that. Farewell compliment. I'm not going to play the shy girl. Dost thou love me? That one's pretty clear. Do you love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. She's like, do you love me? I know you're going to say yes, and I believe you. Yet, if thou swearest, thou mayest prove false. She's saying, but even if you swear to me, yes, I love you, it may end up that at some point you don't love me, or this may just be a passing feeling. So if all you do is say you love me, then we're really no different than anyone else. At lovers' perjuries, they say Jove laughs. I love this line. What this line is saying is when young people fall in love and they say that they love each other and they say they'll be together forever, Jove is God. And she's saying God is up in heaven looking at young lovers, promising their lives together, and he's just laughing. He's just going, oh, these people are so stupid. Everybody says that. They don't mean it. So she's saying God laughs at young lovers. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. So here's where Juliet goes too far. She says, if you really love me, then you should pronounce it faithfully, meaning through our faith, meaning in church, meaning we should get married. Keep in mind they've known each other 20 minutes. But she's saying, God laughs when people just say they love each other. If you really love me, then marry me. Or, if thou thinkest I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay, so thou wilt woo, but else not for the world. So she's saying, or if this is too forward, and you think that I'm just being easy, then ask me to marry you, and I will say no. I will be perverse, meaning I'll be standoffish. And I'll do all that so that you have to work for me, so that you will woo me, that you will show up and bring me flowers. But I don't really want to do that step. So if you're with me on this marriage thing, there's no way that I'm going to say no. But if you want to woo me, I'll say no right now. So thou wilt woo. But I really don't want to say no. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayest think my behaviour light. But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those who have more cunning to be strange. So what she's saying here is, if I'm completely honest with you, Romeo, because he's a Montague, I like you way too much, and therefore you might think that I'm just taking this lightly. But if you trust me, I'll prove that I'm actually more serious about this than the girls that play hard to get. And I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardest ere I was ware my true love passion. So she's saying, I should be playing harder to get. I know that. But you were down there and you already heard me, and I didn't even know that you were there. So I spoke honestly about my true love passion. So what's the point of being hard to get when I've already laid all my cards on the table? And finally, she says, therefore, pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love, which the dark night hath so discovered. And there she's saying, so just forgive me for not playing hard to get. And don't think that this is just like light off the cuff because I admitted it so freely. She's like, you were hiding. You weren't supposed to hear that. So don't pass this off. Know that I mean it, even though you weren't supposed to hear it. So let's read through it one more time. Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I spoke, but farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet if thou swearest, thou may prove false. At lovers' perjuries they say Jove laughs. O gentle Romeo, If thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or, if thou thinkest I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay, so thou wilt woo. But else, not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayest think my behaviour light, but trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those who have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that you overheardest ere I was ware my true love passion. Therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love, which the dark night hath so discovered.